your girl Britni the Brand here with Sheen Magazine, Sheen on the Scene. And when I tell you we have a treat today, all right, I'm here with none other than the beautiful Kelli Ferrell. How are you today, beautiful?
I'm doing amazing.
Good.
How are you? Long time
I
no see.
know. This is such a full circle moment, y'all, okay?
Yes,
we have literally been working together for years in and out the, industry, but when the first time I really got a chance to meet you was through your cooking, okay?
Yes,
and that was a whole different experience than I feel like we're delving into today.
Yeah.
So how does it feel transitioning from talking about the food to talking about Kelli?
It's so different, right? I'm like, I'm usually kind of behind the scenes, not behind the scenes, but, more kind of focused on my brand. And it's definitely interesting now to, kind of be focusing on my personal life. I've done a ton of cooking shows before, but reality is definitely new for me. So it's been an interesting journey. But I'm enjoying it. It's been great.
And we can't really stay away from the food. We're here at Toast on Lennox, Toast Noir on Lennox, right? Now, this is such a wonderful smelling place. We already got some cookies going here. I know we got some drinks on the way. But tell me your relationship around food now, because when you have people who are already coming to you for culinary advice or business advice, and now people are coming and seeing you like, wait, I know that face, or I know that food, or how is it transitioning people from seeing you as fully entrepreneur into essentially like a face and a name, by yourself?
It's been different, but I'm enjoying it, being able to share my journey of what entrepreneurship looks like, and really focusing on just the overall brand, and just like I always say, building this little waffle empire one waffle at a time. It's been quite the dynamic journey, but I'm always getting through it and evolving and pushing through. So yes,
that's so wonderful.
Thank you.
When you got embraced into this Real Housewives of Atlanta,
the sisterhood, girl,
Peach Kingdom, how was that for you? I mean, you're already deep in the city, but how is it now working in such a strong crux of what the city kind of has, built inside of it, which is reality history and reality TV?
Yes, it's been good. Housewives is a sisterhood, no matter how you look at it. Yes, it's reality TV, but it's a strong group of dynamic women that are coming together and building friendships. Some of us were friends prior to the show. Some of us are growing and learning to be friends. And I think it's amazing that the support that we get from one another. Of course, just like any sisterhood, we have our moments, right? We have our trials and our tribulations. Might need to have, our controversy. But at the end of the day, most of us and many of us are able to strive and push forward and really help one another and support one another and be there for one another. It's three of us on the show that are, going through divorces, and we're able to, no matter what we go through in our lives, at least we're able there, to support one another and see what that journey and that chapter looks like. Yeah.
Now, going into this new chapter and kind of coming out of old chapters, how has that transition been for you, going into this, reality TV space, but also bearing your soul in ways that were,
Thank you
very much. That
How
were
cute is this?
Right. I love that.
Right.
That's adorable.
Cheers to Chef V.
I know this is right. Cheers.
And Ty, this is amazing. So cheers to them. I love supporting a Black-owned business such as myself. So cheers to them. Yeah, let's do that.
To them.
Thank you. All right, we'll put this here. Let's try it. It got a little. Look, it's a little bear.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Got a caramel macchiato. It's hitting. We love it.
And this is a matcha.
Okay. Come on,
Amazing. Okay.
No, yeah, I'm here for it. Okay. Now we got our drinks. We can get to the tea. Okay.
Yes. Let me give you the tea, girl.
So how has that been with transitioning into reality TV, but also transitioning out of marriage? And, where has that been with that tug and pull?
I mean, nobody gets married to be divorced, and going through that for the last 3 years of my life has definitely been a challenge. I'm grateful that, I was able to make it through and get through it. It's definitely been a journey and a work and process. But I'm glad, and I'm officially divorced, and I'm happy, and I'm in a much better space than I was in, and I'm, excited to just push forward in this new story of my life, because all the chapters are closed now. It's a new story beginning, and I'm super excited for that. It's one of those things where, joining reality TV, you have to show the good with the bad, right? It's not always as fabulous as it seems. And I was able to share my journey and my story. And I said to myself, I said, if I do this, at least I want to be able to make sure that I can help either one woman or one man that was going through a similar situation than me, and saying to yourselves, like, don't give up. Everybody goes through something, and push through and make sure that you are striving to be a better version of yourself at the end. And it's always sunshine at the end of that rainbow. So
how was that conversation with yourself or with your loved ones when it was making the decision, like, how far am I willing to go, if at all? Were there ever any resistances or doubts when it came to if you actually were going to want to handle what would come with that?
What do you mean in regards to showing that on TV? Mm-hmm. Well, when you do reality TV, it's nothing that's off limits, right? Like when you sign up for reality, like you are signing up for those cameras to come in your house, good, bad, or ugly, or indifferent. So you don't get to pick and choose, like, oh, I'm just going to show this part of my divorce. I'm just going to be able to show that. No, I actually have to show everything that it looks like, and that's the great thing about it, I think. It's being able to show my authentic self. I think so many people were able to see me be successful with the restaurant, but not knowing what the personal challenges that you have to go through in order for you to excel and, to get to the next level of your life. So I'm, no matter what it looks like, I'm glad and happy that I can show that journey and that chapter of my life and push forward.
So many times we have people get into reality TV and it's like, okay, well now we're going to hear their name everywhere. We're going to see them everywhere. Oh God, now they're famous, right? But you have been a businesswoman, and you have been a successful businesswoman for a very long time. You're very welcome. So how is that? Is there any resistance in the, in the world where it's like, oh girl, and it's like, oh honey, come on, let's look up the receipts. How's that tug and pull been for you as well?
I've had my business for 8 years, and I'm glad that I was able to show again what that looks like. So I didn't go on the show, trying to create a business and start a business or a brand because of the platform. I was able to do so on my own and create that brand without a platform. And even though I'm excited and grateful for the fans that are now getting to know Kelli and who Nana's Chicken and Waffles is, I still was able to, kind of ground myself on what true success looks like. And it's a little different, but but it's been good. It's been good. Yeah.
How has your relationship been with the women, collectively as a unit, and then individually? How were those bonds formed? And I know some of them were already kind of in the works, but how was that collective?
Collectively, it's been amazing. I mean, we have our moments, just like any group of women would, right, on reality TV, all going through their own things in life. So it's an ensemble cast. It's not just a one-person show. So it's been good, though. A lot of the, I guess we say OGs, were very, very sweet and personable and receptive to the newbies coming in, and the newbies came in hot, like we came in and we were who we were. You have women like myself who were already successful prior to the show, and my life has always been my life, right? So like a lot of the things that people might see me doing on the show, those aren't things that are new to me. It's just new to the world, right? So, being able to show that, I think the next episode is showing like Cha-Cha being painted, like her pink hair. Girl, Cha-Cha been having pink hair for many years now. But, just being able to share that dynamic with the women, and all of the women are doing, are amazing.
That's that's been a interesting caveat for me as well, because I'm
Yes.
like, every time I've seen you over the last few years, I'm like, how big is Kelli going to go this time? How many elephants are coming down the street?
Girl,
I need to
you know how I do for Christmas and holidays, and you know, I always got an Easter bunny and reindeers in my yard and all types of things.
So I'm like, I'm really excited to see the levels that we're gonna get to portray this to the world, because it's been my own personal television show. So, but that's amazing. And are they like, they're just like, go as hard as you want to go, as big as you want to go? Like the show is just like, be
I am who
as
I am.
Kelli as you could possibly be.
Baby, you're gonna always get Kelli. That's one thing you're always gonna get is Kelli. Kelli is gonna be her no matter what season we're in, what story we're in. Kelli is, I am who I am. You know, those that know me know that, one, I am very loyal. I ride hard for my friends. I don't play about my family, my business, my kids, and I love a good holiday.
Awesome. Okay, and so when it comes to like your philanthropy and the things that you do tied to your business, how are you going to function with those additives in 2025? Are we doing more philanthropist work?
Always.
Come on, I want to hear. I want to hear the goals.
Girl, you know, I'm always working on something and always making sure that I'm striving to give back to my community. So, you know, clearly always working with Meals on Wheels. Love me some MOA. Always trying to find ways that I can help them, especially, you know, with food in the community. And the OI Foundation, as you can see, I made sure that I was bringing awareness to that as well on the show. And 3 of my girls actually were diagnosed with osteogenesis imperfecta, and just making sure that I'm raising awareness for a good cause that not only affects myself, but affects our communities as well. Yeah.
Kelli, I'm just so excited for you. I think every time we see each other, it's always this new grand elevation. But I would ask, kind of in a closing, where do you see yourself after Real Housewives? I know we're at the beginning, but just kind of like that manifestation tool that you do so well. Where do you see yourself at the end of Real Housewives, or at your...
Honestly, just growing and evolving. If I can make sure that I'm constantly growing and evolving myself, my family, and my business, I have been able to do what God has called me to do. And I'm just enjoying it, just having fun. You know, when I got on this show, it wasn't, you know, in regards to anything more than being able to show my authentic self, showing my business and what that looks like, and, you know, just growing and glowing, girl. That's it. Having fun, and, you know, who knows what the future may hold. I don't want to put myself in a small little box, you know. It could be something way bigger than what I could have imagined. So I'm just let that man above do his big one, as he always has, and continue to thrive and push forward for me and my daughters.
Kelli, anything that you'd like to promote to the camera?
Well, you guys know you better come and see me, honey. Make sure you are checking us out at Nana's Chicken and Waffles. Make sure you guys are checking out all of the amazing products, the cookbook, the waffle mix, the 24 karat gold syrup, the Cajun grits. The mimosa mix is now available, and make sure you guys are coming and watching on Bravo on Sundays, 8 p.m. The next day on Peacock. Get us to #1, please. We number 2 right now, but we definitely going for that #1 spot.
I know that's right. Y'all, this has been such an honor. Thank you, Kelli, once again. Absolutely. Make sure y'all pick up your most recent issue of Sheen Magazine at Walmart, Walgreens, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and, of course, www.sheenmagazine.com. Thank y'all so much. Britni the Brand, out.